It was supposed to be the kind of trip we'd remember for all the right reasons. Just me and Claire, escaping the pressure of our overworked lives for a romantic weekend camping in one of the lesser-known national parks up north. We'd been together 4 years, but with my constant late nights at the office and her nursing shifts piling on, we'd felt distant lately, like we were roommates more than partners. This trip was meant to change that. I had it all planned. We'd camp lakeside, cook over a fire, and fall asleep under the stars. We left early Friday morning, loaded up the Subaru with gear, food, a new tent Claire bought just for the occasion, and enough snacks to survive a nuclear fallout. Spirits were high. We laughed. We sang along to old playlists. Everything was going exactly right. Until we missed the turn. I still don't know how it happened. The road was unmarked, barely a trail, but I thought it might loop around and reconnect with the park entrance. The GPS had lost signal an hour earlier, and I was too proud to admit we were lost. Claire was skeptical. She kept asking if I was sure, but I insisted. It felt like the right direction. The road narrowed quickly into what I now know was a fire access path, overgrown, rocky, and clearly not meant for vehicles. And then it happened. 1 second we were inching forward. The next, our back passenger tires slipped off the edge of a ditch hidden under dry weeds. I threw the car in reverse and hit the gas. The tire just spun. We were stuck. I got out, tried to wedge some sticks and rocks under the wheel. Nothing. Claire stayed quiet, but I could feel her anxiety rising. The sun was already dipping low behind the trees. There was no signal, no signs, no other people. Just us, the car, and the oppressive quiet of the forest. We decided to wait it out, thinking maybe someone would come down the road eventually. We set up the tent next to the car and tried to laugh it off. Claire roasted a few marshmallows over our portable stove, and we shared a beer, pretending this was just a minor hiccup. But the next morning, the gravity hit. The air was already thick with heat by 9 a.m., and the only sounds were insects and the occasional rustle of leaves. I tried again to get the car free, stacking rocks, using the floor mats for traction. Still nothing. Claire kept glancing down the road, scanning for signs of help. By noon, our water bottles were half empty, and the heat was starting to make us dizzy. That's when we saw him. A man, alone, walking straight down the fire road. He was barefoot, shirtless, tanned to leather with a sun-bleached beard down to his chest. He carried a large canvas sack that swung behind him like a pendulum. At first, he looked like a mirage. His name was Curtis. Said he was hiking the area, off-grid by choice, and had been for months. He smiled a lot, too much, and talked fast, like he hadn't spoken to anyone in a while. I was cautious but polite. Claire didn't say much at all. He offered us dried fruit, which I accepted, but Claire refused. Something about him immediately felt off. His eyes didn't match his tone, too intense, like he was always watching for something just behind you. We asked about help. He said the nearest ranger station was west, maybe 6 miles through dense forest, but he didn't recommend it. The woods swallow people who don't respect them, he said, and then laughed, like it was a joke only he understood. Still, we were desperate, and for a moment I considered asking him to guide us there. But something about the way Claire subtly squeezed my arm told me no. That night, we stayed in the tent, locked up tight. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to soft, crunching outside, footsteps, slow and deliberate, circling. I unzipped the flap and peeked out. Nothing. But the next morning, there was a perfect ring of small stones laid around our car. Not there the day before. I asked Claire. She hadn't done it. That afternoon, Curtis returned with what he called gifts: raw fish, wild mushrooms, and a strange doll made of sticks and fur. tied together with vines. He placed it on the hood of the car like an offering. Claire stared at it, then at me, wide-eyed. I told Curtis we appreciated the thought, but we were going to try walking to the ranger station. His smile dropped for the first time. "That path ain't safe," he said flatly. "Things out there don't take kindly to strangers." Then he turned and walked off without another word. The tension between Claire and me turned into something deeper. Silent fear. The forest felt hostile now, like it was holding its breath. We found more of those twig dolls the next morning, 3 of them this time, positioned around our tent like sentries. Curtis hadn't returned, but we knew he was nearby, watching. That was the final straw. Claire looked me dead in the eye and whispered, "We need to go." Now I don't care if we get lost. We can't stay here another night. We packed what we could carry and left the rest behind. No trail, just west. The heat was brutal, and within an hour, Claire was limping from a gash on her shin she got climbing over a fallen log. We wrapped it with a shirt and kept moving. I don't even remember how long we walked. It felt endless. Every now and then we'd hear something in the distance. Sticks snapping, leaves crunching. Once I turned around and swore I saw movement behind a tree. But when I looked again, there was nothing. Finally, just as we were ready to collapse, I spotted a structure above the trees. An old fire lookout tower. Maybe abandoned, maybe not. We ran. The stairs groaned under our weight. The cabin at the top was locked, but nailed outside was a metal emergency radio box. I smashed it open with a rock and grabbed the mic. "Hello? Anyone? Please, we need help." I must have repeated it 20 times. No answer. We were dehydrated, exhausted, and terrified. Claire curled up against the wall, and I sat with the mic in my hand, not knowing if anyone would ever hear us. But someone did. 2 hours later, a ranger found us, sunburned, filthy, and barely coherent. When we tried to explain about Curtis, the dolls, the stones, the ranger's face went pale. He said no one should have been out there. The area had been closed off for years. Too dangerous, too remote. No official trails. He'd never heard of Curtis, but said strange things had happened out there before. Missing hikers, campers who vanished. Claire still won't talk about that weekend. I dream about it, though. About the ring of stones, the twig doll, and the sound of leaves shifting when no one's there. I thought we were going out to fix our relationship. What we ended up doing was surviving something that should have destroyed us. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still see Curtis, watching us from the trees, smiling.